All right, camera's not working. Let's see if this is going to work. Let's see, the audio is working. All right, at least the audio is working. Okay, so let's go through a deal that I got sent. This is a subject to deal 24311 Suvino Dawn, San Antonio, Texas. Purchase price $365,958. $365,958. Trying different part of the process here. Let me try punching in the numbers as we go through it. So let's see. This is a 6.12% interest rate. So this is a subject to deal, which means that we are taking over the existing loan, buying a property subject to the existing financing. So we're taking over the payments. It's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,576 square feet. There is an HOA. Let's see. Cash to sell is $0. So just $10,000 assignment. Okay, $0. Let's put that as $10,000 assignment. So this person's behind $25. So total payment is $3,208. So we plugged in this number. Let's see what the mortgage balance is. $355,958. $355,958. Hey, you're so welcome, Maheda. I think I'm saying your name correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. And 355,958, 6.12%, 10,152. So that's going to be 10,122 as part of the start date. No balloon. Let's just do that as 30. Whoops. 20. Whoops. Let's leave that as 10 for now. The whole point of what this exercise is going to do is that we're going to back into what the total property tax number is. So when we get the total PITI for this deal, we are going to get the total number 3,208. That includes HOA, so we don't need to double count it. 3,208. So this equals 3,208, subtracting by the principal and the interest portion of the underlying loan. And that's going to give us our total number for taxes and insurance. And you can see how hefty the taxes and insurance is. $1,000. That's a lot of money. All right. Let's go ahead and figure out the condition of the property. So when I go to redfin.com, this is, they try to rent out for $2,800. This looks rent ready, I guess. Some carpet. I would probably remove it, but let's see if this deal even makes money for us, huh? How about that? All right. Let's figure out what county this property is in. So we get the FMR. Don't know what county it is in. Let's see. County. Is there a county here? No. Their county here. I'm pretty sure San Antonio is only Brevard County. Bexar. Okay, that's what it was. Bexar. So we're going to Google HUD FMR to get the fair market rents for this area by bedroom, by zip code. Look up FY 2024 FMR after you Google HUD FMR. So go to Texas. Boom. Click on a county, Bexar. And now I'm going to get my rent ceiling by zip code, and it's just 78255. 78255 for a 3-bedroom is going to be $2,430 right here. So if the rent ceiling is $2,430, what am I able to get for this property? At $2,430, let's write this one down, 2430. This is going to be a 3-bed, and my zip code is 78255. 78255. Boom, 78255. And then the 4-bedroom is going to be right here. And the rent ceiling for 4 beds is $2,910. Now, why am I looking for the 4-bedroom rent? I just want to see if there's a way I can turn this property into a 4-bedroom. And I'm only thinking that because there is a garage here. So maybe I can convert that into a 4-bedroom if the rent justifies it, right? So this is an HOA, so sometimes you got to figure out, like, hey, do HOAs allow you to park your cars outside your garage? Some people are just they have really weird rules. So just make sure you really know your rules and regulations or your CCNRs for our HOAs that you're buying in. So I'm going to get the market rent now first for my 3-bedroom. And I want to see what it is, $2,481. So this is definitely not what it's being listed for, right? It was listed on market for rent at $2,800 on Redfin. Clearly there's no takers, probably because there is a average rent for 17 units within a 0.82 mile radius is $2,491. So that explains to me why this property has not been rented yet, right? Even though it's been on the market, because they're probably way above market. 3306. Just want to write down all these numbers here. 3306. What's going on, John? Good to hear from you, man. Thanks for jumping on the live, dude. Always good seeing you. 1767. So now that I got all these rents for this property, right, you can see that the rent ceiling and a 3-bed is roughly around the same. So I'm obviously not going to exceed the 3-bedroom rent. So I'm going to underwrite this property at $24.30. All right. At $24.30, I'm going to have 10% for my maintenance, 0%, $0 for HOA, because that's already included in the amount that I put in for 3208 earlier when I was subtracting out the principal and interest portion to back into my taxes and my insurance number. All right, I got 10% for property management, 5% for vacancy. This deal is going to lose a whopping negative $14.15. Assuming you rent it out for $24.30, okay, negative $14.15. Now, the reason I still want to go through this process is so that you guys can understand why I would rule out the deal way earlier, right? If your exit strategy is just simply Section 8 long-term rentals, right? Now, I looked at this deal and I said, okay, well, if I turn this into a 4-bedroom, what can I rent it out for? $26.51. Now, knowing that the average rent for 24 units within a 1.6 mile radius is $26.51, I compared that to my total monthly payment that was disclosed by the wholesaler at $32.08. So for me, this isn't a deal, and I'm not particularly sure why the long-term rental rate here is $29.90. Maybe they have different comps. I don't know, but that doesn't really work well for me. Because if I know the payment is $3,200, and even if I converted the extra garage into an additional bedroom, I rent out as a 4-bed after checking on affordablehousing.com in the owner section using the market rent estimator, I know I'm still losing money. So I'm not going to go through this whole exercise to underwrite this deal because that's just be a waste of money. I mean, and time and energy. Now, this is the process that we really want to go through today because you can go through as all these scenarios, right? But once you're able to determine what your criteria is, meaning what is your target cash and cash return? What is your strategy? Do you want to break even because you're in a high appreciating market? These are all the different factors that goes into this process where you can understand exactly what you're doing, right? For this deal, after I saw that the market rent was $24.30 and I compared that to the total payment, I would have stopped analyzing the deal. Right? Because otherwise, what I've done, I would have went into the rehab next, right? I would have went to my rehab spreadsheet. I probably would have plugged in the rehab calculator. I probably would have said, hey, this property, I'm assuming I need to replace the roof, right? Just in case there's any issues. I'm going to set aside $500 for taking care of the exterior because in any HOA, chances are you got to make the property look a little bit nicer while you're getting a rent ready. I'm assuming I need to repaint half the place, and at 2576 square feet equals 2576 square feet divided by 2. Even if I paint the place at just $3 a square foot, that's another $3,800. If I need to replace the flooring on a third of the home because there's some bedrooms in there, right? Maybe it's gross. I can do equals 2576 equals 2576 divided by 4, just maybe a quarter of it at $8 a square foot. And now I spent all this time trying to get a rehab number and estimating the rehab number when I don't even have a deal, right? So what good does it do? Yeah, maybe it gives you some experience. Maybe it tells you what sort of rehab it might take on this property for reps. But if you're really trying to avoid burnout, which is just doing a ton of work without any return on the effort, then you might be risking burnout, right? Because we just went through this whole process when we could have stopped here, right? Frankly, I didn't even have to go through this whole process. I could have looked at the rent on affordablehousing.com, see the number, compared to the whole payment, and stop right there. But today, for the sake of this exercise, we went through and we got the rents for the fair market rent, and we got the rents for a market rent. And then we plugged in the numbers and we say, hey, this is why we brought these deals so quick, right? Why would you spend more time looking at a deal that's going to lose you $1,400 a month for your exit strategy? Why would you do that? You wouldn't, right? And the reason we go through all this exercise is because sometimes people, when they market deals and disclose deals, they will only say, hey, the PITI is this and the rent is this, and here's your cash flow. But that's definitely not the case, right? after you put in and put set aside money every single month from your rent for maintenance, right? Because what? Guess what? Something always breaks. The HVAC is going to go down at some point. The roof is going to need to get replaced. The water heater needs to get replaced. The lawn probably has some issues. Sometimes the toilet gets clogged. This money does not belong to you. So if you don't set aside money aside every single month, you're going to come upon a time where you're going to have to reach deep into your pocket to pay for a big expense. And then all those years of you analyzing the deals and you running the property might result in a complete loss. And you might find yourself 3-4 years down the road from now realizing that you never made any money. And that's just not a sustainable strategy unless you're making it back up on appreciation, right? That's a whole different game. But these are the things that we want to go through. So when you understand your criteria and you say, hey, my criteria is 10%, blah, 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 in this market, that's great. Now just put in the reps. Remember, all it takes is just 18 minutes a day for 365 days, and you'll be better at analyzing deals than 95% of the country. And the reason we go live today is so that you guys can copy my homework. Just look at the same deal I looked at today using the same spreadsheet. And for those of you that want to copy the spreadsheet, you can just go to affordablehousing.io. You can go to affordablehousing.io, which is the new page of setups to streamline the process a little bit easier. And you're going to be able to get the deal analysis tool just by coming over here, plugging the tool, put your name, your email, your phone number. I promise I won't spam you. And that's how you get the spreadsheet. Super straightforward. Then analyze the same deal, put it on your own YouTube channel. That is how we get better together. And honestly, just pick one part I talked about. Maybe do the analysis a little bit differently. Start the process or underwriting process in a different order. Whatever makes you more comfortable with the process and whatever gets you off the couch and online, on a live. So I know how hard it is to grow a following. So if you guys ever go live, just tag me. I want to share your YouTube channels. I want to share your Instagram channels. Just let me know. I know how hard it is to build a following. I know how hard it is to build a community. This is how we lift each other up. This is the only way we can solve this affordable housing problem together. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate John. It was so good seeing you. Mahado, it was so good seeing you. I really appreciate you guys joining live. I really appreciate you guys caring about affordable housing. Because seriously, without people like you guys, I would have never had the home I grew up in. So thank you so much. And I hope I can just provide a little bit of value to you guys every single day. All right. Have an amazing Monday, everybody. I'll be back here again tomorrow for day 248. And we're going to keep this going together. All right. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.